baby. Welcome back to the Dead Meat Patreon with our dear buddy, Chip Chantry.
Michael.
Chip, I love
Timothy.
that face of yours.
Thank you. Right back at you, man.
Thank you,
I love
buddy.
it. What's Chip short for? Chip.
Chipwich.
Oh, that brought me right back.
Yeah, thank you. We're awake. We're here. Oh, I got to tell you guys. I was telling you, again, Tim, you might be very disappointed / proud of me. Last night, for the first time ever in its entirety, I watched MacGruber.
Whoa!
I've seen parts of it, and I was never able to actually sit down and it was never on like the streaming I had or whatever. And I finally watched the entire thing.
Out of 10, what do you call it?
Didn't care for it. didn't like his brand of humor. It's just very crass and violent.
Chip, what the fuck, man?
No, I'm with Chip on this one. That movie, I mean, I like weird stuff, but that is just too much, some of that.
It's way too much, and it was inappropriate. I was sitting there with my mom.
That's the audio's coming out of the PC.
The audience?
Mute the video.
I like
there.
that. Yeah, that's fun. No, it was great. It's so funny. I just the funniest spoiler alert. MacGruber spoiler alert. MacGruber spoiler alert.
Chip.
The van scene. When
Perfect movie.
And
Every
he
fucking-
runs back to the van.
It's the best.
Guys.
Yeah, the screaming and groveling and shit.
It's hard for me to isolate a single scene. The whole script is perfect.
It really is.
Almost
Great.
every fucking line is funny.
Yeah.
Everything about it is perfect. It's the perfect movie.
When he's like, it's him and what's his name? The cunt.
Val Kilmer. Rest
So
his soul.
good.
God damn it.
And then you think about it, it's like, oh, Val Kilmer did all the serious stuff. He was in Top Secret, which is like
Yes.
very similar vibe, you know. And but when he did the thing where he's like, oh yeah, I had a bunch of guys in a thing, and he's like, you did that too.
It's also very funny to be like such a prolific actor, former heartthrob.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the last movie you do before you get too sick to work is MacGruber.
And like, it's such
so
a funny
funny.
movie, and you knock it out of the park. That's something I never understood with people, and like they say it about like William Shatner or whatever. It's like, if you're gonna be not that Val Kilmer was necessarily a joke or anything like that, but like, be in on the joke.
Yeah.
Like, you're not above that. Like, go kill it, do your thing. Like, you know, Shatner he was in on the joke, you know, and it's like that's. I never understand people who don't have a sense of humor about themselves.
Well, you get really addicted to like the uncut adulation.
Yeah.
And then they go, okay, we did a couple of decades of coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
Now let's do a little bit silly. And it's like, suck my dick. No.
Yeah.
And I've also got more money than I know what to do with.
Yeah.
It would be nice to get super serious about yourself, though.
You need circumcised adulation.
You really do. You really just have to.
Like when you're like 3 days old, have a moil just bite it off of you.
Yeah.
And suck it.
Yeah, and give you.
Suck your penis blood out in an
Give you
ancient
confidence herpes.
ceremony that will never go away for some reason.
I was front row for one of those once.
Why?
It's horrifying.
A bris?
Yeah.
Why did you do that, Chip?
Okay, I was like,
My wife got tickets.
yeah. I won a raffle.
It was a work thing.
It was my cousin. I was.
It was a team destroying exercise for work.
Yeah. I was 13. He was an infant, and his
Never a good sentence, Chip.
No, I know his mom was Jewish, and they had and like, so I was there, and I'm like, all right, what's going? And like, I knew what was gonna happen, but like, and he's like, I'm gonna say some prayers, and the I guess it's the rabbi or the moil, right? And he was like, all right, so they're like, we're gonna have time to like look away, right? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna say some prayers, and then I'm gonna be like, and then I'm gonna say I'm gonna do it, and then you can look away, and then he just said the prayers, and then he just did it.
What the
Like,
fuck?
he told us we could turn away and look, and then he didn't give us a warning, and he just cut it, and then the kid just screamed, and then they took him away, and then they just put out like egg salad on the same table because it was just at the house. Yeah.
Barbaric, man.
Did he suck the blood?
I don't believe so. I don't remember that. No, I
They
don't.
do. They pass them around, and everybody's got to take a little
Everyone
bit.
gets a little slip.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I was
So
not part of
correct me
that.
if I'm wrong. Is he biting the foreskin off, or
Well,
is
there was
it
an
already
instrument. He cut it off with like an instrument. Like it reminded me. The thing that it reminded me of is like, you know how like women have that thing with like their eyelashes with
Yeah.
and it clamps it like
the
it's
crimper.
like that,
Fuck,
but
man.
like worse. Yeah, I was just like it was was rough. Yeah, it's one of my lesser memories of my 13th year. Yeah.
was that in the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards.
Exactly.
And this wasn't a kid's choice.
No, this was not.
This was a parent's choice.
No, it was a physical challenge. Is what it was.
Oh man,
Tim, if you could go back in time, would you get circumcised?
I was, yeah.
But I mean, would you do it again?
Would I do it again? Probably yes. And I'm basing that two things. Number one, I that's hindsight. I know my wife's preference, but we also, I don't know if I wouldn't say this guy was a friend, but we had there's a guy in Philly who was doing open mics, and he was talking about how he got circumcised as an adult for his wife.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I get that. Your wife just doesn't like it.
But dude, as an adult,
Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah.
no way. Once you know your wiener, you've had it your whole life. And then some bitch says gross and you get it surgically altered.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, like, yeah, definitely, duh.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to him about what the repercussions were after the surgery?
No, I think he might have been an Indian guy too.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's just like, brother, you're gonna marry a lady and start changing. When's she gonna stop?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, there was a guy.
It was
the guy-
either this or deodorant. I said, cut my fucking dick off, dude.
Well, there was a guy who I thought you were talking about, who was another guy that we knew, Mike, that converted, and he converted as an adult to Judaism, but he was circumcised, like but they still had to do
Took a little
something.
bit off.
They took
Yeah.
a little bit off. Yeah, like they had to
I
take
would
a
say
little bit
take
off.
it from the balls.
Yeah,
You know?
just something you can't see.
Because you're going to need to take it off anyway because balls elongate over time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like
Yeah.
a nice meeting in the middle point.
Get him shaved down.
Yeah.
Like beaver teeth, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's the name of your business. Your ball moil business.
My
Beaver
ball
teeth.
moil beaver
Ball
teeth.
boil. Beaver teeth. Yeah.
Well, now the Duck Dynasty's gone. I got to fill that
Oh,
time
God.
slot on HGN.
There
or
it is.
whatever.
Yeah, that's the next
Dick
show coming in.
Dynasty is
Yeah.
what it is.
God damn it. Yikes, dude.
So yeah, MacGruber, A+, great movie. Okay,
Thank you.
taking MacGruber out, favorite, like funny, not favorite because you can measure it different ways, but funniest movie of all time. Besides, let's take MacGruber out.
Maybe Naked Gun.
It's a good one. Yeah.
The hardest I've ever laughed in my entire life was seeing Team America World Police
Good one.
God,
It's a
yes.
good
in a
one. Yeah.
nearly empty theater.
Yeah.
Almost empty theater. And I had like a psychedelic experience laughing at that.
Yeah.
It was towards the end of its theatrical run.
Yeah.
And, this is a long time ago. I wasn't walking around with going to the movies money. So I had,
Yeah. Yeah, you had to check it out.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Napoleon Dynamite in an almost empty theater, just laughing our asses off, and like other people just hating it. And then I remember my buddy fell out of his seat during the Uncle Fucker song.
Seizure?
Yeah, we just left him there. But the South Park movie
Dude,
was.
I think
that
South
one-
Park is a strong contender for
That is
funniest
rough.
movie of
That's
all
something.
time.
And I probably for me, because it just hit me at the exact right time. But there's something about Mary is.
Yeah, that was nuts, man.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Dude, one of the great things about Team America was, I don't know if it was just because my computer didn't work for shit, but the songs weren't ruined. Like, I didn't know what any of the songs were coming in. Because I think if it had come out now, you would have heard little snippets of every song.
Yeah.
But going in, what was it, like 2004-ish?
Somewhere around
Does that
there,
seem right?
Yeah.
Yeah, going in and just hearing So Ronry for the first time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm watching this right now.
Yeah.
The fucking AIDS song, I think, is what might have
Oh
done
my
it for
God,
me.
dude.
I haven't seen it in years.
It still holds up.
Rewatch.
It still holds up. You know what doesn't? Super bad. I don't think I laughed once.
Superbad's getting a little bit of shine on Twitter right now. People are singing its praises.
I was never a super bad fan. Like I liked it. It was fine, but it didn't like. I remember there was that scene of like, and I guess people like the Jonah Hill scene at the beginning where he talks about he was like drawing dicks. And it's like, I get that it's funny, but it's like people were falling out of their seats, and I'm like, he's drawing dicks.
Dude,
Like,
I was
what
one
are
of
we-
them, man.
What's that?
I was one of them.
Were you? Okay, yeah. It just didn't like. Yeah, Superbad just didn't do it for me. Like it's a good enough movie. And it's like funny, but it's like not like laugh out loud. Like Kentucky Fried Movie's another one. That one.
You showed me that.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Yeah.
What was fuck, I had a tangent attached to what the hell? Go back
Pop
to
Star was
movies.
incredible.
I got to rewatch that.
Dude, Pop Star, I had to stop twice because I was laughing so hard.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Newer or older, Tim?
No, I think I just wanted to talk about the Superbad thing.
Are you getting some shine on Twitter?
Oh yeah. What? Did they not like the comedy movies? I think they point to it as like the height of comedy movies coming out, and now it's like kind of not happening. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
there's
there's
no
not a
just
lot of-
straight funny
No, there's not a
comedy
lot
films.
of
There's like Amy Schumer pops out a movie every like 6.5 years about being fat
That's a
or
good
whatever.
point.
But there's no just like cool funny movies for the homies.
Cedar Rapids.
I didn't see that in the theater, but that's
No,
one of my
either did I.
favorite movies of all time.
That's it's great, and it's because it's got some heart too, and like whatever. But there's some fun. Like John C. Reilly in that is
That's
incredible.
another strong contender for close to perfect movie.
Yeah.
That's a real hotel. They still have it. It's in
Really?
East Lansing, Michigan.
Did you guys watch the Please Don't Destroy movie?
No.
No.
It's called The Treasure of Foggy Mountain. That's for the bros. It's very funny. Conan
Okay.
O'Brien's in it as like the dude's dad. It's just like three guys that work for the one dude's dad's like outdoor store, and they just were like, we're gonna go get this. They find like treasure, and then chaos ensues.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, someone needs to fucking crack the shell on just a funny movie for the bros.
I think Superman might be the last time I was in a theater where everybody laughed together.
It's like the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I also keep watching newer Adam Sandler movies and realizing that they're all really funny.
Yeah, he's the best.
I got tricked by the internet into thinking Adam Sandler was beat.
I have not watched a lot of recent Adam Sandler movies. I've seen a couple. Hubie Halloween is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies.
That's
It's-
terrific. Dude, Sandy Wexler I thought was great.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I my bad to the Sandman, man. I'm too online. I let them get to me. I let them change my thoughts on stuff. It's never again. I'm never gonna get tricked online again. Watch this. But yeah, Hollywood's dead. It's over, man. The entertainment industry's collapsing in on itself.
Dylan, any other movies we didn't mention you want to bring about?
Well, these guys are bringing up Old School and Tropic Thunder,
Yes.
Old School's great,
yeah.
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys haven't mentioned it. When I was a kid, when Step Brothers hit, that was
Step
like,
Brothers,
that
that's-
was
okay.
top 5 for me.
changer.
The Will Ferrell John C. Reilly connection like destroyed my entire friend group. Like I had dudes that got stuck in an Anchorman loop and they could
Yeah.
only speak in Anchorman quotes for years after, like almost worse than alcoholism.
Dude, Anchorman ruined dudes' brains in the way that people say porn does.
Yeah. It really did. Yeah. It's like the Caddyshack of the 2000s. Yeah.
Even worse, because I don't remember my dad walking around the house saying, "It's in the hole."
Yeah. I had friends who were Caddyshack, and it was just like friends, people I knew, I should say, acquaintances.
Yeah. We would have it on a bunch once we got a fucking VCR, but
Yeah, but Step Brothers is that's a great movie. Will Ferrell, Marky Mark, the cop one, the
Oh,
other
that's
guys,
terrific. Yeah.
yeah, that was
the other
huge.
guys is great. Yeah,
This is the beauty of having a 14-year-old son, is getting to watch him watch
Like,
them.
Oh,
his
God,
eyes.
yeah.
It might be it's one of my top parenting experiences is showing them, oh, dude, oh my God, especially if mom says maybe he's not ready for it.
That's
That
perfect.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, mom fell asleep early, man. And why don't we just watch whatever we want tonight?
what was
the
your favorite
fucking
one that you watched with him? Do you think, or like that he liked the most, or are you surprised by?
Shit. I don't know. It's we were talking about Happy Gilmore today. Showing him probably Billy Madison is like a deeply like touching experience.
Yeah,
Have you shown him RoboCop yet?
Yeah, we've seen all the RoboCops. Fritz is playing the RoboCop game where you could shoot people in the dick. Also, like they play a lot of Mortal Kombat in the house, and I have to like stop them once in a while, just so you guys know. When I was your age, I wasn't even allowed to play Mortal Kombat, and back then it was nothing like what it is now. They're showing you X-rays of people's like limbs being destroyed and like spines exploding, faces being torn off. And I'm just like, MJ doesn't have a problem with it, and I kind of wish she did. I might actually reprogram MJ to kind of get on the kids' asses about the Mortal Kombat.
maybe like the Texas thing will be like a little bit more like find a nice church to center too, right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Little no dancing in this
Would
town.
it kill you to wear a fucking sundress to church every
Right.
once in a while?
Yeah.
Put on a
Jesus
bonnet,
Christ.
bitch.
Did you ever hear of a value system?
Yeah.
Instead, we're just fucking urchins. We're essentially homeless people that stole children and we're corrupting their minds. No. Let's fight back a little bit.
Do you think you could convert her if you started your own church?
Jesus Christ. Which god?
Vishnu.
Now we're talking. I was going Islam at first. But yeah, I don't know, man. No, you want to join someone else. You don't want to set all the values because then you'll just say whatever. I'll just do whatever.
Well, I'll tell you this.
That's my danger.
I know from visiting there, Waco could use some members.
Yeah.
The Branch Davidians, they're recruiting right now. They're hiring.
Yeah.
The vacancy sign's lit up.
Yeah.
But that place is cool enough. You got a lot of space. It's got enough history as to where you feel like you're a part of something and not
Yeah.
starting something.
Right.
Real estate's got to be cheap.
You're just like
Yeah.
you're picking it up. It's like the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Branch Davidians
Yeah.
Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
The new generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had something
new
strange in their
class.
neighborhood.
Yeah, I would totally join the Waco. Like that was one of my favorite.
That would be
days,
nice,
Like in high
yeah.
school, like I remember watching. We just like went down to the one classroom and just like kind of chilled out and like watched the footage, and it was just.
It's kind of nuts how like you would have a day of chilling out by watching kids burn to death.
Burn to death, yeah.
It's like,
And it was
thank
awesome.
God. Wheeling the TV in to watch kids burn. Like,
Yeah.
We're doing a double feature with the station nightclub fire.
How far is Waco from Austin? I don't
Not
even know
super
where.
duper
in-
far.
No, it was
Texas
between
it is.
Dallas and Austin. I would say an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay, so it's
north.
close. Yeah.
I'm looking at motorcycles in the area, actually. I could stop in.
Yeah.
Now,
there you go.
was there like one compound in Waco?
Yeah, basically. I mean,
And-
I think
and
it
is
has like
it
other
still
properties,
there?
I think, but it was.
Yeah, so what's still there, the only structure that you could see in the Siege videos that's still there is the concrete pool.
Yeah.
That's still there. Now, the place where the actual the buildings where they burned down, they built a chapel on top of that.
The same church, the Waco church people?
Yeah, the Branch
Like the Branch
Davidians. That's still a
Davidians.
Branch Davidian chapel now.
Okay.
And when you enter the property, there's like small little buildings that are kind of telling you where to go and what to do.
Do you think you could just go to church there on a Sunday?
Probably. They're very kind.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking up Airbnbs in Waco, Texas right now.
Yeah,
Bro,
I would
we'll
go.
do
I
a
would
day
go to
trip.
church there one Sunday.
Bro, they're very welcome. The church is incredible. When you walk in there, it looks like any other Southern Baptist or Southern church.
Yeah.
With the exception of like all over the walls are photographic evidence of what happened.
Yeah. And if you watch, like, I watched a documentary, the one Netflix, I think, documentary about it, and it's like, David Koresh, crazy person, but like
For all
we
his
screwed
faults.
it up. Yeah. But stand up guy other than that. But like we screwed that up. Like there was a lot of dropping
Yeah.
the ball with that. Yeah.
Dude, they do a good job of getting you to see their side because on the wall there's pictures of like ATF and FBI guys like fucking flexing and it's like, bro,
Yeah.
kids are fucking dead here, man.
Yeah.
Maybe chill out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The reason it was a big thing, they were going in, and I guess like the press got tipped off, and a reporter got lost and like just pulled over and asked a mailman. He's like, "Hey, do you know where the compound is? The
Do you know
Waco
where the
thing?"
standoff is?
He's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Oh, they're like the ATF is like raiding it today." He's like, "Oh yeah, it's just like down here, whatever." It turns out the mailman was a member of the church, so just went somewhere, called him real quick, and was just like, "Hey, the cops are coming, like they're busting in," and that's why. If that reporter didn't like tip off the guy by accident, it would have never gone down that way. They would have probably just gone in, seized it, like whatever, yeah. It's wild. Did you know, Mike, and Mike, someday when I make it big, you're making it big now, Mike, you're doing a thing. You and I are going on a trip together.
Where are we going?
We're going down south.
Okay.
It looks like they may be starting some tourism trips to Jonestown.
I would like that.
Yeah, down in Guyana,
Yeah.
down in South America. You can fly to like Port Kaituma, I think it is, like where like the airstrip where a lot of people were shot or whatever. But then they might be starting to take like tours out. There's not much. A lot of it's overgrown, of course, like in the jungle. But like I think it's like a 7-mile like bumpy.
And
like,
when do we go to
ride
the
back.
airfield? That'd be nice,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That would be a ton of
That
fun.
airfield is like surrounded by. It's like a little town now, and like there's like these little like shacks and like bar. Like there's like a little tavern, like a bar there that like I would hang out at that bar.
Oh my god. I might have to fall off the wagon for that.
Yeah, if you ever do, like just let me know, and then we'll go down there.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
there's a surf resort around where the standoff was. So it was,
Wait, is this in Guyana or Waco?
Waco, sorry.
Yeah. Surf resort.
Yeah. I'm interested. Yeah, there's an amusement park called Waco Surf. Oh, dude, they got the big giant slide that launches you. Wave pools. Dude, come on. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's 120 fucking degrees down there. This might be the only cool thing to do in Texas.
We don't care how hot it is. You're going to ride King to Koresh.
Ooh, and then there's a camper/RV in Axtell that you could stay in. That looks like it's pretty remote.
Dude, Texas is the fucking best, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love a standoff.
You drive. Mark and I,
Mary's
husband Mark. Because we drove to San Diego. Oh, because I was officiating the wedding of my now podcast partner out in San Diego, and we drove. It was during the pandemic, and we drove down and we drove through Texas, and it's like a full 24 hours to drive across the state of Texas. Like it's
too fucking big.
It is a big piece of land.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting around, man. I want to check out San Antonio because word is they have some pretty big bitches there, and that's right up my alley.
Nice. They got the Alamo, baby.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to drive even further and check out New Mexico and Arizona.
New Mexico, that was my favorite part of the trip. It's probably the most beautiful place I've ever been. Like,
didn't you go there too?
Especially like northern New Mexico was like the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
No, I didn't do
Sedona, right?
Yeah, I did Arizona. I've done a couple places in Arizona and Utah. I'm looking. Yeah, I've got some motorcycles lined up that I need to go check out as soon as I get there.
Hey, have you had a motorcycle before? You
yeah,
have, right?
Yeah, I've had a couple.
It fell out the window, Eric Clapton style.
Yeah. Gears in heaven.
Oh yeah.
I remember why this is amazing. I remember there's this girl I really liked in high school, and she started dating a guy. He was a senior, we were juniors, and like he didn't know that I liked her, and he started dating her, and I saw them dancing one day, and I was all set 2 tears in heaven, and they were like kind of like sort of like making out to it,
grinding,
and it was like it was tears in heaven. And I was just so sad for the reason that I was like, this is the girl that I'm like, and then like now and like they're just not even realizing that this is about a kid who fell off.
It's about a boy. Yeah, and then you look like a fucking pussy virgin, and you have to be like, no, it's the content of the song.
Yeah, it's different. Clapton really went through a lot.
Yeah, man, that's tough, man. Imagine like having to tell your wife about that. She comes in with the groceries, be like, man, I need a nap. And you're just like, why you go lay down for a little bit? Yeah.
Honey, remember how I wanted the second floor? But you insisted on the 14th? Remember that day? Remember I said, let's keep it cheap. We don't need the view.
The good news is I wrote an incredible song.
Now, don't get mad at me.
You're getting mad already.
Promise.
Yeah. Pinky swear you're not going to get mad.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Basil's dead. Basil is smushed.
Yeah, you probably walked past some of the mess on your way into the building.
The good news is you're going to be able to return those diapers.
That should have been the name of the song, Return Diapers.
Return diapers, yeah.
Babe, I've written a brand new hit song. She goes, ooh, Layla too? He goes, oh, not quite. It's about our son.
Let's rename our son D-Tuning because I dropped him.
Lay us on the rest.
You got me on my concrete. Lay us on the rest.
Oh, man.
That had to be like horrifying. Like, did they see it? Do you remember? Like, do you know if anybody saw
I'm
it?
sure you've dug into
I think
this.
he went to go check on him and he just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And found out the boy fell out the
Okay,
window.
I remember he was in the crib.
Yeah.
If I was a 3-year-old boy, where would I be? Probably not anywhere near the open window with like the curtain blowing in the breeze.
Yeah.
Not even going to check over there. That doesn't even make any sense.
Flash forward to like 2 hours later when the investigators there and Ace Ventura shows up.
Rears in heaven, and he sings it with his butt. Oh,
Layla was a man.
That was another one. I don't know if it holds up as well, but Ace Ventura is a great.
Yeah, dude, Jim Carrey. Oh my goodness gracious! Anytime I see him now, he just somebody who instantly puts a smile on your face.
Yes, yeah, because he was the guy like 1994.
What a
It
year.
was Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. All I think was 1994.
Whoa.
Nothing but hits. It's crazy that he gave that woman herpes on purpose and she killed herself. I guess.
Oh,
Really?
you
Yeah.
kind of have to.
You know about
It's
that?
like, I was that the lady whose casket he was carrying.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I think wasn't there an issue with painkillers too?
Yeah.
He gave them to her or something.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
I think she had emphysema because she was smoking. I think that's what it was.
Damn, that's gotta suck. Jim Carrey's carrying a casket at a funeral for your daughter, and you're just like, I swear to God, if he does like a funny walk or something.
Yeah.
Let me show you something.
As he's opening the casket.
Just up there, just opening the casket. You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh, heavens. Oh, dude. Yeah, Dumb and Dumber is another one where it's, you feel like you have to leave the theater because it's so goddamn funny.
Yeah. I remember seeing The Mask in the theater, and my favorite part of The Mask was the trailer to Dumb and Dumber. That was the first time I saw it, and I was like, oh my God.
I was
this is
too
amazing.
scared of the place where I saw The Mask to be able to fully enjoy The Mask.
What was the place?
We saw it
Were you
in
like a-
urban theater,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
and I was just terrified about getting beat up on the way out.
You better not be playing with that mask. I knew it.
Somebody better stop his ass.
So the marquee just says The Masks.
The Max.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
It's still, but Tone Loc still raps at the end. That is a thing that doesn't happen, I don't think, as much anymore. That needs to happen where it's just a mainstream rapper just has to rap the plot of the movie during the end credits. Tone Loc did it with Ace Ventura.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice did for
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
Secret of the Ooze.
Bobby Brown did it for Ghostbusters 2.
MC
my
Hammer
God.
for Adam's Family too.
Whoa.
Yes. Yeah.
Was that MC Hammer?
Yeah, Jimmy Rollins was one of the heads in the graveyard going like this.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Why? Just for fun? Did
He was from Oakland. He knew Hammer because he was a dancer growing up.
Okay.
And Hammer's like, yeah, you want to be in the Addams Family video? So Jimmy Rollins got to be in the video.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it's that is just such a fun just rap the plot of the movie.
Everyone gave up though when Will Smith started doing it for his own movie.
Yeah, Wild Wild West and all that. Yeah, and it's just it needs to be a tangential character at best.
Dude, Will Smith did this, and I don't even think it was for promotional purposes. I think he just did it because it was cool. Do you remember when he made the song Nightmare on My Street?
Vaguely.
He
It
did
was
it for,
that was early, right?
Yeah, it was a Nightmare on Elm Street theme song.
Yeah,
where Freddie's actually rapping in it too.
Yes.
But I
yeah.
don't think it was for the release of any movie.
No, it's fun. It's novelty. Yeah.
Yeah, an extra day in the studio. We already booked it for the week. We already finished all the songs about fucking, parents or whatever. Yeah, we got a time for a Freddy Krueger. No, who's gonna be who? I mean, who could even pull it off now? You have Machine Gun Kelly in your movie, and then he raps about it for you.
It'd be too cool. It has to be somebody who's got a little sense of humor.
Yeah, I don't know too many modern.
We got to write a
rappers.
movie to have Dave Blunt's in it so he could do it.
Oh my God! Imagine him haunting your dreams on the couch.
It's constantly. I mean, that giant depression in it.
Serious question: do you think he's going to make it through the year?
I don't know, man. I feel like fat guys are living longer than ever.
Fat guys and wiggers. Chip, do you know Dave Blunt's?
I don't think so.
He's a morbidly obese rapper who's on oxygen during his own fucking concerts because he's so fat.
I've seen clips. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at the midway part of the year. I think that would be a good time to take bets on whether or not he's going to make it to 2026.
Yeah. You know, my favorite rapper is the guy who I just see him on my Instagram algorithm where he's this little guy sort of, and he's throwing a basketball behind his head and it makes it, and it's a bunch, and he just raps like crazy, but they just keep going no, it didn't go in, no, it didn't go in. But every once in a while he throws it and it goes in, and he just raps like crazy.
Does he have to rap until one goes in? Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, it's like they're shooting a rap video where it would look cool where he throws it behind him and it goes in, and then he's rapping he's
I would like
walking
to see that.
away. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Our third day of filming.
He's kind of like a little guy. I feel like there's some neck issues or something like that where he doesn't have a full neck. Yeah.
Were you into rap as a kid?
No, and I'm really kind of upset about that because I feel like you learn later that, like, at least for me, like the rap that they fed us, like in the early '90s or whatever, or the midnight, it was all gangster rap, and I'm like, I don't relate to any of this. This is not, and I was like, this is what rap is. But then, like, to go back and find out that there was like, I mean, Tribe was kind of around, but like Tribe, De La Soul, like those, you
They
know
were
what I mean?
keeping
Like,
that from you. They didn't want white boys having that.
right, exactly. They
God,
didn't want,
yeah.
and they're like, this is cool. It's really inventive. It's great stuff. It's like funny. It's like kind of nerdy, you know, like, and it's good stuff. But then it's like we just kind of got thrown like Tupac and Biggie, like what, and they were great, but like it just, I didn't relate to that. But if I heard like, you know, like De La Soul, for example, like I'd be like, oh, this is, yeah.
Do you remember where you were when you found out that the guy from PM Dawn was fucking his cousin?
No.
Do you remember PM Dawn?
No.
It was an obese black guy with the spider braids.
I know, by the way, I'm friends with his son. The not that guy, like the other, not the guy who, like the weird, like the guy who passed away, his son, is like does like podcast stuff up in North Jersey. He's the best dude. He actually has he's like a singer and does like stuff in his own right. And he put out a Christmas album like 2 or 3 years ago. And to this day, it's one of my favorite Christmas. He's got a Christmas song on there. It's like one of my favorite Christmas songs. But yeah, it's the dude's son that yeah, but not the dude who
Not
was,
the
like,
guy that was
the
fucking
weird
his cousin.
Yeah, no, not that dude.
So was it the skinny guy who was porking the cousin?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Girl cousin, boy cousin.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna say no. I'm not gonna say something because I just don't know. But PM Dawn, they had a couple massive hits. They had "I Die Without You" and
Set Adrift to Memory Bliss was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he really had a unique look and a wonderful voice.
And it was just like, but it was like just like chill, but it wasn't like I'm gonna kill you and shoot you, like whatever. And it's like, oh, like if I heard more of that stuff, it's like, oh, that's what, you know.
Also, my cousin kind of nice.
Yeah.
But anyway,
by the way, I mean, white boy, like Beastie Boys were like,
Yeah.
I love Beastie Boys. Yeah, still do.
do you guys go back and watch them? What were they on? Conan? No, Letterman.
When they rap through the sidewalk, or like through the city.
No. When they're playing live, and they're still playing their own instruments, and it might have been Sabotage.
Yeah.
I go back and watch. That's on my rotation. That's my feeling good rotation. As I go back and watch Beastie Boys and Letterman, and I watch Blues Traveler play Hook at Howard
Stern. That is so good.
I've been saying this for a couple
so
months now.
good.
It's an immediate turnaround
Yeah.
on the worst day of your life watching Blues Traveler play Hook live.
Yeah.
And then
It's so
knowing that
good.
he's always carrying a gun on stage makes it so much better.
Yeah, yeah. There's another Beastie Boys one where they literally come up. It's like it's a later one, like to the Five Boroughs or whatever, and they literally come up. So they're doing Letterman, but it's a remote. They're coming up the subway steps, and it's like live, and they're rapping live. And they're walking through, and they walk through like 4 or 5 city blocks with like the camera coming backwards, and they're just walking towards the camera. And then they walk into the studio and complete the rest of the song in the
Do
studio.
you remember a video? I think it came out. It was right after. I think "License to Ill."
Bud Dwyer?
Yes, that one. But it was a Beastie Boys video. I think it was a tour video. But there was a part where they're like fingering a girl during an interview.
No.
I remember seeing it as a kid, and my aunt was just like, "He shouldn't be watching that."
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like hard partying Beastie Boy days, and they were
Maybe like Hey Ladies or something like that.
no, it was like a straight up interview, and they had girls on their lap, and he was like putting his hand down the front of the girl's pants during the interview.
Jeez.
I think Mike D.
Wait,
Okay.
not part of a music video. This is
No,
just a
this was
regular-
just them
This is, like,
talking, and they had groupies, and he was fingering a groupie like as he's talking.
makes me sick, man.
Wow.
Oh man,
That's wild.
Can't stand sex guys.
Sex guys.
I fucking hate sex guys, man. Fucking James Hetfield face fucking ladies. Shit makes me sick. You're supposed to be making music for sweaty fat guys to kind of run into each other a little bit, not porking. Excuse my language.
is there a situation where you might excuse that?
If it's the guys from Better Than Ezra. I would.
Yeah. No. Fucking. I guess like when you're playing music like Semi Charmed Life, it's like, okay, that's obviously to get pussy, but like if you're making stuff that guys can even push mosh to, it's like you're celibate, man. You're a monk. You're performing a holy service for some of the grossest guys on the planet. Let's keep it that way. Don't face fuck. What the hell's your problem, man?
Yeah, it's that's civilian stuff.
You're supposed to be above that. You're a transcendental artist.
But I mean, there comes a point where nothing excites them anymore because they have access to everything.
Once you can
Because
shred
literally
fast
nothing
enough.
else matters.
Yeah, it's crazy to think a guy wrote that song and then he face fucks ladies. Come on, man. Against the headboard even?
Yeah.
Making
Yeah.
cool sounds.
It makes sense. So close, no matter how far.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, that line was about getting some distance on your shot.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever been around super famous singers?
Like been around a super famous singer?
Yeah.
I'm sure Chip met Pavarotti or something
I
like
met
that.
Pavarotti a couple times. I did very briefly, like a meet and greet situation, and it was just like very awkward. I was a fan of this band too, but my wife loves the band Live.
Whoa.
And I did the cafe at Steel Stacks a couple years, about 10 years ago, on a Friday night, and Saturday night Ed Kowalczyk from Live was doing the same room. So Ryan got us tickets, and we went, and he got us in a meet and greet. Like we just like got a picture with him real quick and just whatever.
nice.
But he was like kind of dead eyed at that point. Like he just done a full concert and then been through like 100 people taking
tough.
pictures with him, and then I think he's just dead eyed. Yeah, I did meet when I was opening for Chappelle at up at Portland in Helium in Portland again about like 10 years ago. It was like kind of tired, and it was like right before the last show of the night, and there was a couple guys in the green room, like that tiny green room, and they're all smoking weed, and I was like, I would just get a contact high, and like I can't.
Yeah,
function.
guys, I don't know if we should be doing that inside the club.
I think the police might be coming.
Pretty sure this is some kind of violation.
Hey Dave.
I'll go run it by the manager just in case.
I'll just double check. So I was like, I'm just gonna step out just to like breathe a little bit, because it's like if I just get that high, like
Whoa, were you his white friend Chip from the joke?
I mean, people were literally asking that, and he's like, "It's not him," but yeah. He actually took us out every night and was like super cool, like it was great. But I was gonna leave just because I had to do like a half hour. It was just a 2-man show. I would have to do like a half hour before him, and for people who were there to see Dave Chappelle, right? And so I was like, I need to keep a clear head. So like I was like, I'm gonna step out, and as I'm stepping out, Talib Kweli comes in and is just like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And I was like, "Well, I can't not."
Hey, don't go in there, man. They're smoking weed and stuff.
They're smoking reefer.
Everyone's going to get in trouble. You don't want to be there when they come in.
The Star Wars guy, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's Nanu. Yeah. Yeah. Have you been like any famous like singer, rock star?
I had a brief interaction with the guy from what was it called? Jim Blossoms.
Oh yeah,
A fan reaction.
Robin.
Yeah, I don't remember his last name. But when I first started comedy, me and a couple other guys, like we recorded ourselves like random sets and put it on a CD.
Yeah.
And while he was singing, I threw it at him.
That's amazing.
And he was very, very gracious. He picked it up and he said, "For me?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Thank you."
It's great.
Yeah.
Where was that?
It was outside Lincoln Financial Field. It was like a season kickoff thing.
Oh,
and
okay,
like, Jim Blossoms, I think now they play like pretty big venues, like because they had a resurgence.
Yeah, there's like a 90s resurgence.
Yeah, but at the time it was like
They were doing tailgates back then.
Yeah,
I
for
saw
real.
nothing-
It wasn't even for the stadium. It was for like a guy with like a camper.
Yeah, like that's all it was. It's just a private show. I saw them because again, literally Live. My wife's like favorite band, Gin Blossoms. She was like middle school, like loved the Gin Blossoms. And so almost as a joke, I got tickets. They were playing right down the street at Harris in Chester.
Whoa.
This is probably like almost 15 years ago. And I want to say it was a glorified conference room. It was a conference room. And it was just the stage and then like 30 feet of just nothing. And then just those conference room chairs. And everybody was just sitting in the chairs, and they just come out, the Gin Blossoms, and play like 2 songs to everybody just sitting there. And it's the saddest thing I've ever seen. And then to his credit, Robin Wilson, I think that's Robin Wilson, was like, "Guys, we're not doing this. You guys got to get up and fucking dance. Come up here. We're going to have fun." And like yelled at everybody to get upstairs. And then they put on one of the most fun shows I've ever seen. And they were like, self-effacing. They were just like, they had a great sense of humor. They were really funny. We know like 9 Gin Blossom songs. It's not like just like Hey Jealousy. There's like 9 songs you know.
Yeah, some hits, man.
And like they had a bunch of hits, and they played them all, and they were great. And it was to this day one of the most fun shows I've ever seen. They were really fun. And then
What are the other Gin Blossom songs?
Allison Road.
Allison Road, Found Out About You, I'll Follow You Down.
Okay, that's a good one.
It was a oh man, give me a second to think of the lyrics.
Till I Hear It From You. Did you say that?
No, I didn't say that. That was a good one though. But it was I think this was off their second album that I gotta look it up.
Till I Hear, yeah. So yeah, there's a couple. You know a bunch of songs.
These are all 90s rom-com bangers.
Yeah,
man.
that's exactly
Whoa.
what they are. Yeah, I think the one was like an Empire Records.
Okay, so do you know about the Central Pennsylvania like pop star pipeline?
No.
Okay. So
Wait. That the thing in like that. There's that rehearsal space. Do you know that rehearsal space?
I know
thing?
about the rehearsal space where they like test out like arena shows and shit like that.
Yeah.
No, but there is like some form of this is the only thing this is the only cool thing I know about live, and I bring it up every chance I get.
Okay.
There is like a presence in central Pennsylvania, and there is like a made and live still those dudes still live there.
Yeah.
And they sort of like lord over like the aspiring singer-songwriter crowd.
I can see that happening. Yeah.
And apparently, let your wife know this, live is still like constantly in the studio trying to crank out their next, number 5 hit or whatever.
Whoa.
Well, they had.
And they think it's coming.
They think it's coming. Well, they had this thing where like because they split up and they're like they moved together and they split up and whatever. But there was this thing where there was like some of the guys got in with this dude who was like an investor, like whatever. But then he turned out like he was like, I think like beating and torturing his girlfriend, and then like it was basically like mind control stuff. Like it was like almost like cult behavior that this dude had over some of the guys in the band.
Like, I alone love you.
I alone tempt you. Yeah. Lightning crashes tonight. No, and it was this whole thing where like there was this rift in the band, and some of the guys were these like kind of like devoted followers of this dude who was like this investment guy, but like lifestyle guru kind of situation.
That's how you're successful,
it was
man.
intense. Yeah, there was a whole article in like Spin Magazine or something like that a couple years ago. It's wild, but like but that makes sense.
They're getting back on the charts, dude, any day now.
They're doing it. They're making it
They're
happen.
cranking away. They're in the hit factory, just making it happen.
I still remember that night when we were at that show in Bethlehem. It was again 10 years ago. He's like, like when people are like, they name drop on stage or whatever. He's like, I was just hanging out with, and it was just,
Corbin Burnson.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't too far off. He was like, I was just writing songs the other night with Chris Daltrey, and people went like nuts. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah.
That song I was trying to think of was like, As Long As It Matters.
Yes.
As long as you're here with me now.
They put out hits, buddy.
Yeah.
They put out hits. Yeah. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's crazy because like Hey Jealousy seemed like the kind of song was like, all right, they're no doubt going to be a one-hit wonder because this song is that good.
Yeah. They're like this Space Hog of the year. Remember Space Hog?
Whoa, yeah.
In the meantime, Space Hog was doomed because they wrote the greatest song of all time and they were never going to top it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Meat Puppets was another one that was like, all right, this is going to be it for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what was the Meat Puppet song?
When
Backwater.
the backwaters flow, when that is something that'll never change. Something
Never change.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, they were the backing. They came on and Nirvana played a couple of their songs on Unplugged. Like, I think Lake of Fire is theirs.
Oh, interesting.
And another one. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Oh, Me, maybe? I forget. Yeah.
Rock and Roll McDonald's.
Rock and Roll McDonald's. That's what it is.
Dude, that's one of my greatest regrets. Wesley Wills was he was just he played there.
I love Wesley.
Up the street at Nick's Roast Beef in Springfield.
No.
And it was like I was like, I got to go see this, and I don't know why I didn't because I was still boozing pretty hard at the time.
Yeah.
There's no reason why I shouldn't have been there drinking 20 Budweisers watching Wesley fucking kill it.
I love Wesley
And I just
Willis.
didn't go, and he
You
died
missed
later
your
that
chance.
fucking year.
Man, he was the best.
I know.
You guys would have hit it off.
I know.
He would have thought you were so cool.
I know. Oh, my
With your
God.
shirt off, drinking your own piss in the middle of the show.
Sweaty hand, the sweaty hand.
Do you go to Nick's Roast Beef? Is that a place you like? There's one right around the corner from me, the one in South Philly. And it's great. Love their sandwiches.
Fucking deal.
What's that? What'd you say?
Big fucking deal.
I know, right? I got it. I was there with David James a couple weeks ago. We were just hanging out for lunch one day, and these two like business dudes came in.
I'm sorry. I thought
I'm
you
dropping
said
names
Chris
again.
Daughtry.
I'm dropping names again. Yeah, sorry. With David James, and these two like business dudes come in. They're like, "We're here for the sandwiches," and they're like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, well, what? There's like 20 sandwich roast beef and this or that pork sandwiches," and it's like, "Yeah, well, here's the order," and they're like, "We're sorry, we don't have it." And the guys were kind of being dicks to him, like, "Well, then you got to make them." And he's like, "Let me see your order," and he's like, "Yeah, that's for the one in Delco."
What a retard.
And so like they got to send them on their way.
Oh,
We
my
were
God.
pretty excited about that.
No, you can't get sent on your way in that scenario. You have to say like, well, the app didn't make it
wrong.
clear.
They
so
did it wrong.
You gonna make this right?
I got a fleece vest on now.
Man, delicious sandwich, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the cheesesteak gets a lot of the accolades that hot roast beef should.
Hot roast beef and roast pork sandwich. Yeah.
Delicious, man. I had one from, I think, Esposito's in Delco. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't eaten anything fun in such a long time. I've been drinking my meals and a half a pot of coffee every day.
Drinking really like smoothies or
Yeah. I've been drinking Huels instead of eating food. I can't wait to feel joy again. I think my dopamine is just completely flattened out. And I think nothing's going to kickstart that. Like maybe an interesting meal soon.
Well, are you guys doing like a farewell tour of like your favorite places in Philly?
I got a meatball sandwich from Wawa, and it was the only thing that made me a little bit emotional. Where I was just like, "Is this my last time eating a meatball sandwich from Wawa?"
Once a week. I just found it last month. There's a few stores, but the one I go to is Haddon Heights. It's a P&S Ravioli Company.
Yeah.
Pause. Insane name. But might be the best hoagie I've ever had. So I've been getting one from P&S Hoagie.
Okay.
For P&S Ravioli Company.
Yeah. All right. I didn't know they did. I thought they just did raviolis.
It's delicious, man.
Okay.
There's
South
one
Philly,
by me there.
Yeah.
I think there's two in South Philly.
Yeah, there's. Yeah.
But I don't want to go into Philly anymore, so I just go to Haddon Heights.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever eat roadkill before?
Is it a restaurant or the real thing?
No, like an animal.
Oh, I thought it was like a
outside.
fucking Jason Aldean restaurant or something.
No, you've never eaten roadkill.
Never. No.
What have you eaten?
Nothing yet, but I've thought about it for a long time.
Well, you guys are going to Texas. Like, you guys are going to have some, like, armadillo and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would you consider frying up a dillo in the backyard?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's got to be something to it. People, it's like a thousands-year-old tradition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if tradition's the right word, but like people have been eating animals off the ground for a long time. There's clearly
You
something
guys will
cool
be in
about
Texas.
it.
Yeah, you guys will definitely be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's, how you break your cherries. You just put a fucking spear ass through mouth
Yeah.
and light that thing on fire.
Yeah. It's got its own little.
Does deer count as? It counts as roadkill if it's killed by.
It's killed by a
car.
road.
Yeah, it's got to be hit by a car and ruin someone's life.
What if
I
it's a
never
man?
have, but the dudes I used to hunt with, like, we were like up in like a kind of like recluse mountains in Pennsylvania, and a lot of the guys who lived up there that hunted with us, they knew how to check a deer that was dead on the side of the road to be like,
It's okay.
this
Good
got killed by a rookie. They didn't know to take it.
Yeah, that's what I want.
They would also like they did shitty stuff. They would like cut the antlers off of it and pretend that they killed it and stuff like
No,
that.
you can't do that.
That's cool.
Guys don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
Who's going to know the difference? What the hell?
The Native Americans would do it.
Oh,
And everybody, Native Americans took one of my deer, and I was furious because I killed it and it ran away, and we just tracked it too far, and it was like that thing's gonna die in a day or two, and then the natives took it
How'd you know the natives took it?
because they said, "Did one of you guys shoot a deer?" And they had my arrow, and I was like,
Had his address on it.
"Yeah, it's a property of Dylan Smith." They attacked my underwear, which was weird, but yeah, they were like, "Oh, is this somebody's arrow?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh, well, we took your deer. We already ate it." And then I was like, "Well, where the fuck are the antlers? Because that's the only thing I want. I didn't care to eat it." And they were like,
Already jewelry for my wife.
Yeah, they were
Wait,
like,
and where
"We're
was
already-"
this?
This is up in Towanda, Pennsylvania.
That's Wanda. Yeah, I have a family up there.
Yeah, Chip's ex-girlfriend.
Wanda. Yeah, I used to go up to Wanda's. No, I do. I have a family who used to live up. We used to go up to Towanda all the time. Yeah.
I was like 14, and they were just like, the natives got it. And I was like, all right. I never even met these guys. These are guys that are like, everyone just kind of talks about them. Like, there's 2 Native American brothers that live up here.
Oh, that's just your buddy's older brothers took it. They were like the natives. The natives
Yeah,
did it.
Native Americans in Towanda, they just carry around like a weave.
Yeah.
Black lady joke was what I was looking for the entire time, man.
It was good. Would you eat, man? Like if there was.
Yeah, dude.
If the dude was
at
a
a place
dick-
called P&S, dude.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You mean in a situation like in a live situation?
Yeah, and you just knew the guy was a dick. You're just like,
I think I would do it if it was a dead friend who was nice to me.
okay, all right.
That I would be more inclined to do
Or
that.
like that if
Yeah.
push came to shove.
Yeah.
Is it legal to insist that the people at your celebration of life feast upon your flesh?
I think that's a reasonable request.
I
like
might
a
start.
pig
I'm
roast.
going to start laying the
That's
groundwork.
why
now.
you need to start a church, Tim. That's exactly why.
Well, I'm looking at property in Waco right now. It's not looking terrible, but I would love to just start letting people know, like, hey, just so you know, I'm happy to have you as a friend, but when I die, I do expect you to just at least eat some of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that
And
makes sense.
once you get 1 or 2 guys on board, and then your new friends start asking you, like, hey, is he talking to you about like eating him?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when you come in and you have to be like, oh yeah, we're all in on it. We're all gonna do it. And if we could just trick one guy into eating me, that would be the fucking best.
Do you know the story of Graham Parsons? You know who Graham Parsons is?
Singer
From the project.
Yeah, country rock singer, like back in like the late 60s, early 70s. And he was like friends with the Rolling Stones and stuff like that. And he put out a couple albums. He had this deal that he made with like his like manager friend, this kind of crazy dude, Phil something, and who was like this badass, like he was basically like a manager for the Stones, which means he was just like a heavy and would just like fuck with people. But they were friends and they were like big drug addicts, and they're like, if one of us dies, we want the, because like Graham Parsons' family came from a bunch of money from like maybe Georgia or somewhere where they were super religious, and he didn't want like a funeral, like a religious funeral. He's like, I want my body taken out to a Joshua tree and set on fire, and that's all I want.
Okay.
So Graham Parsons does overdose on like I think on heroin, and so the dude whatever the guy's name is takes a couple other guys. They know somebody because of these connections. They basically steal a hearse. They go to LAX because the body's going to be flown back east. And they basically convince the people at LAX. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're the people. We need to take them." They even had a cop help them put the casket into this hearse. Ooh. They threw it in there. They drove the hearse out to Joshua Tree, set it on fire. But like you need a lot of gasoline to like burn a whole human. They ended up getting caught. Like somebody found out that it was them. He gets arrested. The family basically, like, there wasn't specific charges on like corpse mutilation or whatever back then, so they couldn't hold him.
Not a crime, by the way.
Not a crime. It's just a fun. It's just frowned upon. And so what they could get him on, basically the funeral home was like, well, he ruined our casket. It's like $1,000 casket or whatever. So he had to pay that. So apparently, in order to pay it, this dude threw a party to pay the fine for the casket. He threw a party with all his like rock friends where it was just a kegger in his backyard where they made shirts with Graham Parsons' face on it. And I forget what it was called, but they had 2 acts playing in this backyard party with like a bunch of rock stars and stuff like that. The one act was a young Modern Lovers. Do you guys know the Modern Lovers?
Oh, Jonathan Richman.
Jonathan Richman, great band. They're amazing.
Something About Mary connection.
There's Something About Mary. The guys who sing the song,
oh, nice.
That's Jonathan Richman for the Modern Lovers. They're amazing. And then the other guy was Bobby Boris Pickett, who apparently played Monster Mash he sung Monster Mash like over and over again in the backyard. That has to be the greatest part. And that's how he raised money to pay for this casket for setting Graham Parsons on fire.
Oh, that's terrific, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
How do you want to go, Chip?
Exactly that way. Right there.
He's starting with Monster Mash. I'll figure out the rest
Monster Mash starts. Just put the needle down. Yeah. How about you?
I want to be sold to a necrophilia porn studio.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to be given to them. Not I don't want them to buy me, and I just want the people that are into that to just have at me.
Yeah, lonely fans.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. Tim, what do you think?
Damn, dude, just moving you. First of all, it's going to take 3 guys to move you around, and then there's definitely not going to be a woman involved. It's going to be guys.
Come on,
it's going to be guys.
They're not all gay. Necrophiliacs can be straight.
I'm making some safe assumptions here. There's not going to be a woman involved in desecrating your corpse.
If there's any necrophiliac ladies in the chat, please,
dude, love to hear from you, because what I'm thinking is when Mike dies, there's going to be 3 gay guys doing like wrestling moves to his dead body and coming on him and stuff.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, but I do think the necrophiliac community is a lot more broad in scope than just gay vampires.
Oh, there's probably a subreddit for it. I'm going to check and I'm going to get back to you on this, because there's no way. It's definitely all. Well, even if there are women, they're being overpowered by all the gay dudes.
I don't know, man. I think a lady who's into that kind of stuff would scare guys off.
She'd be a queen.
Who's into that stuff would get a job at a mortuary like a grown up and have sex with the corpses there. Mm-hmm. She would take the fresh corpses with the rigor mortis PNS funeral home.
But don't you think with the rise of boss ladies that there's got to be a real bad bitch who runs a necrophiliac film studio?
Oh, like a realtor lady.
Yes.
In a pantsuit.
Yeah.
Who knows what she wants out of a corpse?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Come on, man. Chip.
There's got to be somebody out there.
I know. Every pot has its lid.
Yeah. Like a Kathleen Turner type.
And I don't even care, but I'm just saying.
Your body's going to rot while it's on the waiting list for a female necrophiliac.
I wouldn't demand that, but I'm just saying that I think like when I'm fed to the fucking
Gay wolves.
The gay
I was
sex
just gonna
dogs.
say that. Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lady involved somehow.
Ugh, dude, they're not going to clean you either.
I don't
They're
want it.
going to get a couple of weeks of use out of your body. They're not going to clean you between uses. That's going to be a fucking
Nice.
seriously smelly contractor bag that you end up in afterwards.
Hey, it's, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
It's use me however you see fit.
Exactly.
Fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be fed into a wood chipper pointed at my daughter's algebra teacher's house.
There you go. Yeah.
I want to paint her house with my blood.
You should do it for as many days, for as many problems as she's given her. Like every day, just a mini wood chipper gets a piece of Tim.
Yeah.
100. 100 algebra 2 problems on the last week of school, you fucking bitch.
The out chipper.
Enjoy my corpse. Yeah, that's how I want to go. And then my friends make a little soup out of me.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Dylan? How do you want to go?
I want to make my kids have to do a really old Irish wake,
Okay.
which is just like a buffet around my body.
Yeah.
They have to eat staring at my dead body.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Clothed or nude?
I want to
The kids or him?
Clothes from the waist up.
loincloth.
There you go.
And
Single napkin.
I want to like make sure. I want to be like you. By the way, it's like you guys have to have.
You have to
fun.
eat this sushi off of me.
I jump out. I'm not even dead.
Yeah.
So you just
He's moving.
I can't believe you guys did it. You guys are so stupid.
California roll off your dad's dick. Gay. All right, guys. I'm going back to I'm going home. But and then I want to be like you guys have to keep the vibes high. So I'm choosing the songs, and then I will make a playlist, and it's just gonna be
The Monster Mash.
it's gonna be Danny Boy and My Dick by Mickey Avalon back and forth just for about 4 hours while they eat cold cuts.
Yeah, gross. I like that. What are you gonna do when your wife dies?
I will have a flight to hedonism booked by the time her body is cold. I will come home with AIDS for the funeral. Dude, showing up to your dead wife's funeral with AIDS, I think is the ultimate.
With a new
send-off.
girlfriend.
Can't speak English. How about you?
I'm gonna go on a black cruise by myself.
Oh God.
Just really lift my spirits, you know.
Yeah.
Get in a couple fights. Get fucking thrown in the brig.
Just you at 90 in a white boy be crazy video.
I'm just gonna do the robot on the deck of the Carnival Magic or whatever, while people are just beating each other with lawn chairs.
Carnival tragic.
How do you think they handle all those big old fights on Carnival cruises?
I think they kind of just all get out of the way.
Do you think they just swerve the boat a little bit?
They have Batmobile armor on the buffet, and all they hide behind the fucking shitty walk or whatever.
The planks come out.
Yeah. They retract the lobster and they're like, no.
But they probably have a real system in place for that.
Yeah, they just double the price of Hennessy, Tim.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chip, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with
Oh,
us
this
today,
has
man.
been a blast. Such a pleasure. I'm so sad to see you guys go, but so excited for you guys. I can't wait to come down and visit sometime.
I hate to see you go, but I love to see you walk away.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
You better stop playing.
Yeah.
Well, we have plenty of room for you.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
We're going to a Waco church
On my
service.
face. Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
I'm going to set it up. That's going to be next FGR meetup. I'm going to get
Yes.
a big property in Waco for us to use.
Yeah.
And we're all going to kill ourselves.
And I think we might have discussed this on Dad Meet before, but wouldn't it be fun to have an ATF versus Branch Davidian paintball battle?
Yes, it would be.
Yeah.
Just get the crew back together.
Yeah.
The old guys. Yeah. And they just have like some barbecue afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
We need the military sound system
Mm-hmm.
blasting, whatever they're playing.
Could I plug something?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
So me and Noah have a Patreon.
Oh, yes. I signed up for your Patreon just
I
for
did.
this.
I really appreciate this.
Yeah.
So we're like, I think at this point it's like 15 or 10 guys away from hitting a goal, and the goal is going to make us do a 19.5-hour live stream where we watch every Harry Potter movie in a row, because Noah's never seen them and I'm obsessed with them.
And he's going to hate them.
He's excited for what we have in stored, but I don't know if he's going to like them now.
He's going to despise those movies.
But Rob Cruz is in. So Rob Cruz is going to be there, and if you guys want, it's Two Headed Dog Comedy on Patreon, and that's that would help us out a ton, and we get to do this goal.
You guys are so friggin' funny, and when I saw that graphic, I instantly signed up.
Thank you. It was a really fun day. And my girlfriend walked in while I was editing that, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing." I was putting Emma Watson's face on a poster next to me in front of Hogwarts. I was looking up how to do Harry Potter fonts. But I've purchased 3 Lego sets.
You got to quick pull up child porn to make it seem like you're not actually doing that.
Nothing. But I've so far purchased 3 Lego sets, and we're buying a bunch of cool stuff. So we're gonna have games and activities the entire time.
Oh, neat.
I'm planning an entire thing. This is my birthday party. I'm throwing for me. So if you want to join, it's 2 Headed Dog Patreon.
Nice, dude. Well, Tim, we did it, baby.
Our time has come to an end here.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see who I am. I can't wait to not be whatever this version of me is anymore in 1 week.
Texas Tim's gonna be a big thing, man.
Brother, I'm at my the end of my rope. I can't wait.
This is your last resort?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see it, baby. And
Can't
shout
wait
out
to wake up inside.
Yeah. Oh my God. Shout out to Jacoby Shaddix, Evanescence. See you there too. We love you guys. And gang, we will see you pretty soon. I think while you get set up, I'll do some dad meets here.
We could send them back and forth to each other.
That'd be fun. We'll
Dear
volley.
Mike. Yeah.
But yeah, in a few weeks, we'll both be down there, and we'll start jamming together our dad meets. Pause. We'll get PNS, and then we'll start jamming our dad meets together, and then we'll